evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to DraxBytes. So excited to be back with you here on Disc Jockey News TV. Tonight we're going to talk about yesterday. Yesterday we celebrated 9/11, the horrific tragedy that engulfed the country 17 years ago. You know, and before everybody thinks that, boy, couldn't we just get back to being united like we did back then, I'd like to cast you back in time to remember we only really were united for like 5 days. After that, it was back to the same old stuff. Left hating right, right hating left. And guess what, folks? I don't want to go through a 9/11 level event every week just to have us being kind to each other. Maybe there's a better way. Just saying. But what I did want to talk about relative to that was it caused me to reflect and think. You know what hasn't changed in 17 years since 9/11? Prices for DJs and photo booths. That's the facts. So you know what? If you're a DJ or a photo boother charging what you did in 2001, you have lost 40% of your value. You're now earning 40% less than you did in 2001. You want to know how you can figure that? Pretty simple. A gallon of gas in most places, average across the country, was $1.46. Today, it's almost $3. Almost $3. And what is one of the largest expenses we have in our business? It's traveling to and from our events, gasoline, in addition to our music and other elements. And by the way, have a damn legal music library, will you? Use legally licensed images on the photo booth side. There's no reason to steal. You can do it. But talking about it, 17 years later, the vast majority in these industries have not moved their prices at all. I recently got a text message inviting me to bid on an event more than 2 hours away for $200 with a gracious stipend of $50 for travel. Really? I personally think it was just some sort of money scam because that seems to be circulating the internet every day. But the point is, there's still DJs and photo boothers that go out for 2001 rates. And guess what? All the huffing and puffing and all the people telling people to raise their price doesn't get it done. Doesn't feed the bulldog. You know what feeds the bulldog? When the business owner actually has a business plan. When he looks into that mirror and says, I know exactly what it costs me to operate my business. I know exactly how much profit I make. I know exactly what my salary is from each and every event. That's when you win. And if you're today in 2018 still charging rates that you did in 2001, you'd be better off working at McDonald's. You'd make more money. So, with that said, how do you start a business plan? Well, you can be a part of ADJA and attend our webinars, which cover all the aspects of a business plan and running a business, growing a business, and becoming profitable. Or you can contact somebody that could mentor you. Maybe me. I'd be happy to help you to build a business plan to help you succeed. Caveat to that, the best business plan in the world will not happen or not help if you don't take action. You've got to take action. Something I wanted to chat about was today, September 12th, was the big Apple iPhone announcement. Holy Moses, this is going to hold a half a terabyte in 2 weeks. A half of terabyte, 512 gigs. That is insane. That is the entire Billboard Top 100 for the last 50 years. Think about that on your phone. That's a level of amazing storage that we just don't even contemplate. We don't even think about. We don't even realize how much that is until we're sitting there trying to figure it all out and going, oh my gosh, how do I make that work? Well, the way to make it work is, A, it's a great secondary storage. But more importantly, guess what? An iPhone XS Max is going to start. We don't even know. They haven't even announced that price. But the XS is going to start at $1,100. $1,100. And I will bet money there will be a line around the block to buy those puppies when they go on sale on Friday. Wants, needs. I really want an iPhone XS Max. Do I need one? No. My 4 version older iPhone 6 Plus does just fine. Why? It's paid for. I don't need another phone bill. It's paid for. And I'd encourage you to think about that when you make technology upgrades in your business. There's no reason to have the latest tech unless you got the disposable income. But hey, guess what? That comes from a business plan. So with this, with the great release, is these new iPhones are going to edit videos better than Adobe does, take better photos than Adobe Photoshop can produce. And one of the more salient points was how much resources are being developed in neural networks, machine learning. If you're not savvy to that, what that means is your phone is going to become smarter than you. And it won't be too long that phone is going to do better than you at taking pictures, at mixing music, at figuring out what's next. It's only a matter of time. So now I want to move to the next component. Since technology is going to basically replace all of the rank and file fundamental things we do, what's left for us to market? Us, our talents, our ability to create an engaging experience. At our ADJA local chapter meeting last night, we were talking all about corporate events, and we were talking about sales and marketing. And it was amazing how many DJs still have a laundry list. Well, it's this much, but if you want a fog machine, it's this much. If you want a subwoofer, it's this much. Folks, that day is going to kill you. You need to sell the experience that they want, and then you just bring the tools to do it well and deliver it well. Personally, I think it's ridiculous to not have a subwoofer at every event. Every event. Why? Because it allows your entire sound system to work the way they should work. Yes, you could probably get by with a single speaker for a group of 30 or 40 people. But if you're creating a dance environment, a subwoofer is a mandatory thing, in my opinion. You just got to do it. But more importantly, we discussed the concepts of how consumers think. We all shop on price in the absence of value. You need to create a unique selling proposition that becomes uniquely yours. And part of that is not listing out a line item, a grocery list of items and how much they cost. Because when you do, the next person that delivers that grocery list for less money is a better value, period, end of story, over. And you have reduced your talent segment to being next to nothing. So now let's look at what you can do. It doesn't matter what you paid for your photo booth. It doesn't matter what you paid for your DJ gear. What matters is all of that's accounted for in your business plan, and you charge a fee requisite for the talent that you provide, for the skills you provide, and the result you're able to deliver. Those are the things that matter most. That's what you have to focus on. So now let's talk a little bit about the concepts of how that impacts the consumer. Sally in HR, when she's put in charge of the company holiday party, the last thing she has on her idea is meeting with DJs, having numerous phone calls and face-to-faces, because guess what? She still has her regular job to do despite all of this other. So what does that mean? You need to have your talking points solid. You need to be able to deliver those talking points in a meaning and an effectual way in whatever manner Sally in HR or whoever that person is that is in charge wants to deal with you. You need to have a compelling narrative, a compelling story. You need to have tons of reviews. You need to have tons of post-event evaluations from consumers. You need to be able to sell them not what you want to sell, but what they want to buy. You see, because people don't like to be sold, they love to buy. It's a famous saying. I challenge you to look up who actually created it. So now as you look at your business, How are you marketing your business? What are you doing? What are you doing to make your company better? Are you doing anything to make it better, more profitable? Because here's the deal. It's 2018. If you haven't given yourself a generous raise every year from 2011 to forward, you are losing money. And the only way that doesn't become true is if you cut costs. And that means not being insured. Hello, stupid, dumb thing to do. You want to have insurance because you want your life to go on. You don't want to be caught up in a sandbag of insurance fraud, which is rampant with people doing slip and falls, trip and falls, you name it. Next thing you want to do, you don't want to cut costs by stealing your library or stealing your images. Next thing you don't want to do is cut costs by shorting people. Called bait and switch. Sell yourself as the great and wonderful Oz and then deliver the cowardly lion. You have to come up with something to be effective. Now, is there ways to cut costs? Absolutely, you can cut costs. One, but that comes back to your business plan. Have an effective business plan which capitalizes all your expenses. Make sure that they pay off or paid for if they've been financed in any way. But more importantly, even if you paid for them outright, most everybody spends their personal money to get their business started. Make sure that you've recovered your money that you started it with within 2 years and then depreciate it for the balance, meaning that those boxes, those items become profit centers now for that period of window that you're covering that recapture cost. It becomes future capital to invest in new equipment, to invest in training. The number one thing that's going to make the difference in how you perform and how you succeed is going to be the level of skill and talent you bring to the table. And by the way, don't sell people on being a master of ceremonies. They're hiring you. They freaking expect you to not suck. Don't give them a reason to ask why, like it's an extra charge. Hey, I'll come and be the DJ, but if you want me to actually control the event or be the master of ceremonies, you need to pay me some more money. No, you just need to charge the right amount of money to begin with. That's what you need to do. That's how it rolls. People buy solutions. When people are looking for a DJ, it is not a pleasant thing. Or a photo booth, it's a problem. Because most of them have never bought one, never used one, so it's a problem to them. You'd want to be the yes person. You want to be the solution to the problem. And the person that's going to be the solution is the one that presents a simple, uncomplicated narrative of value and wondrous experiences. The person that takes and brings it home. And what that means is you don't line item them. You don't tell them, well, I come in at this price, because see, that's what most people do. They want to come in at some low price and then go, oh, well, you'd like that? Well, sure, that's another $300. Oh, you want that? That's another $250. Baloney. Have a great price for your service based on your business plan, charge it, and be done with it. In any case, next week we're going to talk a lot more about business structure, business plan, and we're going to talk about some tech next week. What's going on in the world of technology? This is Drax. We hope you've enjoyed our show this week. Look forward to talking to you again soon. Peace.